So the chromosomes come and align in the equatorial plate. So homologous chromosomes separate. So here you can see the separation. Two groups of chromosomes get enclosed by a nuclear envelope, taking or exchange of chromosomes taking place. So it will lead to what? Genetic variability. Hello everyone, welcome back to the last session 4 of this chapter 10 of your syllabus called Cell Cycle and Cell Division. Myself, B. Shobha Rani from the Department of Biology, Vidyashram Pre-University College, the Temple of Excellence. Hope you remember in the last session, we started off with prophase 1 of meiosis 1. As we all know that meiosis involves two very sequential stages, that is meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. And prophase 1 of meiosis 1 is the longest phase with 5 substages where we have studied about leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotin and dikinesis. Now moving on to the next, as we know that meiosis 1 is divided into prophase 1 into 5 substages, as I said, leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotin, dikinesis, then metaphase 1, anaphase 1 and telophase 1. Then it moves on to meiosis 2, that is prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2 and telophase 2. And also we'll be studying about the significance of meiosis. Just like how we have studied the significance of mitosis, now we will be understanding what is the importance of meiosis. So moving on, so we have already studied about prophase 1 of meiosis 1. So as we have already studied that meiosis 1 is divided into prophase 1 into 5 stages, substages, leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotin and dikinesis. So these are the substages. Then moving on to, here we can see the metaphase 1, then anaphase 1, then telophase 1. And this will enter into next, that is meiosis 2 with prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2 and telophase 2. So this is what we are. So now let us move on to the metaphase 1. That is, we have already, see here at 5 substages are there, but meiosis 2 is of a shorter duration. It is not having the 5 substages, but here it is having the 5 substages. So moving on to the metaphase 1. So here you can see in this picture, that is the bivalent chromosomes align on the equatorial plate. So more or less like what we have seen in mitosis. So the chromosomes come and align in the equatorial plate. So here what happens in meiosis 1 during metaphase 1, homologous chromosomes pair line up along the middle of the cell. Here you can see a spindle fiber attaches to each chromosome. So here you can see the spindle fiber attaches to each chromosome. So here you can see each chromosome is attached by the spindle fiber. So what are the features of metaphase 1 and bivalent chromosomes? Bivalent means here it is tetrad. Bivalents, or we can use a word called tetrads. Tetrads means 4 chromatids. So bivalent chromosomes align means arrange on the equatorial plate, and microtubules from opposite poles of the spindle attached to the pair of homologous chromosomes. So here you can see the microtubules with the spindle fibers. So that is the significance. So meiosis 1, as we already studied, divided into prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1 and telophase 1. Prophase 1 of meiosis 1 is of longest duration, having 5 substages called leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotin and dikinesis. Then moving on to metaphase 1, as we have studied, bivalent chromosomes align on the equatorial plane. As we say plate, you can see microtubules from opposite poles of the spindle attached to the pair of homologous chromosomes. So in the next slide, we'll move on to anaphase 1 and telophase 1. As we then will be moving on to prophase 1, which is of shorter duration, not like prophase 1 of meiosis 1. Moving on to metaphase 2, anaphase 2 and telophase 2. Moving on to anaphase 1. So here you can see in this beautiful picture, anaphase 1, one of meiosis 1. So homologous chromosomes separate. So here you can see the separation of the homologous chromosomes. Separation of the homologous chromosomes. While chromatids remain associated at the centromere. So here you can see the centromere. Then, hope you have understood. So, what will happen in anaphase 1? Homologous chromosomes separate while chromatids remain associated with their centromeres. Moving on to telophase 1. Nuclear membrane and nucleolus reappear. See, it is like, everything comes back to like an interphase stage. So in prophase, nuclear membrane, nucleolus, everything will disappear. But in case of interphase, everything will reappear. So in a similar way, nuclear membrane and nucleolus reappear, and cytokinesis follows dyad of cells, and interkinesis, that is stage between meiotic divisions, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So nuclear membrane and nucleolus reappear, and interkinesis stage between two, that is meiotic divisions, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Then moving on to meiosis 2. Meiosis 2, chromosomes align at the equator. Here you can see. Then microtubules from opposite poles of spindle get attached to the kinetochores of sister chromatids. So here you can see that is metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1. Here metaphase 1, that is anaphase 1, telophase 1. So here you can see chromosomes align at the equator. Here you can see that the equator, microtubules from opposite poles of spindle get attached to kinetochores of sister chromatids. So anaphase 2, that is simultaneous splitting of the centromere of each chromosome, allowing them to move towards the opposite poles. So here you can see they move to the opposite poles. Move to the opposite poles. Move to the opposite poles. So telophase 2, here you can see telophase 2. Two groups of chromosomes get enclosed by a nuclear envelope. So cytokinesis follows, resulting in the formation of a tetrad of cells or 4 haploid. So here you can see 4 haploid cells. 4 haploid cells are formed. So anaphase 2, simultaneous splitting of the centromere of each chromosome, allowing them to move to the two opposite poles towards opposite poles of the cell. Telophase 2, groups of chromosomes get enclosed by a nuclear envelope, and cytokinesis follows, resulting in the formation of a tetrad of cells, that is 4 haploid cells. So moving on to the significance of meiosis. Just like how, so at the end of meiosis, at the end of mitosis, we get 2 diploid cells. At the end of meiosis, we get 4 haploid cells. 4 haploid cells. Now let us understand the significance of meiosis. Formation of gametes in sexually reproducing are so very, very important. As you know, meiosis takes place in the sex cells or reproductive cells, helping in the process of formation of to maintain the chromosomal number constant for a particular species. Then genetic variability in the population of organisms from one generation to gen. So as there is exchange of recombination of chromosomes taking or exchange of chromosomes taking place, so it will lead to what? Genetic variability. Genetic variability, and we all know genetic variability is very important for evolution. Then genetic variations are very important for the process of evolution. So maintenance of chromosomal number constant. How? As I said, if it was diploid, then it, after the fusion of the male gamete, if the male and the female gamete were 2n, had diploid number, as I already explained. If the male gamete had 2n and the female gamete had 2n. After the fusion, it would have been 4n. But as we know that 2n is reduced to n at the time of in the gametes, is reduced to in the gametes. So after the fusion, it will form 2n. So this is the balanced set. This is called unbalanced set. So to maintain the chromosomal number constant for a particular species, so this is very, very important. So formation of gametes in sexually reproducing genetic variability in the population of organisms from one generation to next. Genetic variations are very important for the process of evolution. Maintenance of chromosomal number by reducing the chromosomal number in gametes, chromosomal number is restored by fertilization of gametes. So imagine how important this meiosis is. Now let us summarize the differences, or let us understand what is mitosis and meiosis. Let us understand the differences between mitosis and meiosis. Occurs in somatic cells or body cells, whereas meiosis occurs in reproductive cells during the formation of gametes. Here the chromosome number remains constant in the resulting daughter cells. So the resulting daughter cells will have the same number of chromosomes. But here occurs in reproductive cells during formation of gametes and it is reduced. One chromosomal duplication is followed by one nuclear division. Here one chromosomal duplication is followed by two nuclear divisions. Then after one mitosis, daughter cells may undergo further mitosis. Meiosis cannot be repeated by the daughter cells. As you know, the only 4 haploid cells are formed, but they cannot undergo again meiosis. Then mitosis is a single division which produces 2 cells. Meiosis is a double division as it has meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, which gives rise to 4 cells. So what is the difference between mitosis and meiosis? Occurs in somatic cells or body cells, occurs in reproductive cells during the formation of gametes. The chromosome number remains constant in the resulting daughter cells, occurs in reproductive cells during the formation of gametes. One chromosomal duplication is followed by one nuclear division. One chromosomal duplication is followed by 2 nuclear divisions. After one mitosis, daughter cells may undergo further mitosis. Meiosis cannot be repeated by the daughter cells. So mitosis is a single division which produces 2 cells. Meiosis is a double division which gives rise to 4 cells. Hope you have understood the differences between mitosis and meiosis. Hope you all have understood this chapter called cell cycle and cell division. As we all know how important the cell cycle and cell division is for a human being, may it be mitosis or meiosis. As we know, mitosis, which is also called as equational cell division, is taking place in the body cells or somatic cells, thereby helping in the growth of cells. So that is the reason why we are called as multicellular organ. And we also know how advantageous it is to be a multicellular organism, where the group of cells make a tissue, and group of tissues make an organ, and group of organs make an organ system. And we all know how advantageous it is for a multicellular organism to have different organs to perform different functions. And meiosis is also a very significant type of cell division, where the chromosomal number is maintained for a particular species, and which takes place in the reproductive cells or the sex cells or the germ cells. Hope you all have understood the different stages of mitosis, and as we know, meiosis has 2 sequential stages, that is meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Hope you have understood all the concepts, and these cell cycle and cell division, I think right from your school days you might have studied. I think only thing we are studying it in a little bit detail in case of your first PUC. So I'll be back in the coming session with yet another chapter. Till then, goodbye and thank you.